Hello guys, and welcome to this tutorial about how to get the RSSI value of your Xbee. In this video I'm going to use a Arduino and Xbee Series 2. Okay, so now we're having a look at Digi's datasheet for Xbee Series 2. Basically your minimum connections are your power supply, VCC, and your ground pin, and your digital out and digital input. So digital out is your TX pin and digital in is your RX pin. Okay, so your VCC pin is pin 1, your output pin is on pin 2, your pin 3 is your input pin, and ground is on pin 10. Okay, so this is the Arduino Mega. The Arduino Mega has about 4 serial hardware ports. This is the first one. This one is mostly used for USB connection to your PC or Mac. My Xbee is connected to the pin 14 and 15. The TX pin of my Xbee to this TX pin number 3 on pin 14, and the RX pin of my Xbee to this RX pin number 3 on pin 15. You can also use these or these. Okay, so and please note that you only can use these pins to get your RSSI signal, because this signal is a PWM signal, so you have to use port digital pin, from 2 to 13, or if you use an Arduino Mega, from 44 to 46. Okay? Okay, now we're going to configure our Xbees. I'm using this Explorer. This is a very easy way to configure your Xbee using Digi's XCTU software. Okay, let's go. Okay, now as you can see, this is the USB port my Explorer is connected to, and make sure you've set the correct baud rate to 9600 for me. And now we're going to configure the first Xbee. So I'm going to Xbee router AT mode, press, and then you have to set a pad ID, whatever you want. Then go to join notification. Put this to enabled. Then use any of these 5 pins, and I'm using pin number 3, and set this as a analog input or digital input, whatever you want. Then go to sampling and type in 64 in hexadecimal. So the Xbee sends analog information every 100 milliseconds. Okay. Now we're going to set the second Xbee. And of course, don't forget to press right. Okay, now we're going to configure the second one, the second Xbee. I'm using the same COM port, the same baud rate. Okay, so then go to modem configuration, change this to coordinator API, and you have to choose the same pan ID. Basically that's it. Press right. This is the sketch I made for getting the RSSI value of my Xbee. This sketch allows your Arduino to read the RSSI value, and it'll automatically turn on a LED. So I'm going to upload this sketch onto my Arduino Mega. Please note that you have to use a Arduino which has at least 2 serial ports. That's why I'm using a Arduino Mega. The RSSI pin on the Xbee is on pin 6, and I've connected this pin to my digital pin number 10 on my Arduino Mega. Again, make sure, please note that this is a PWM signal. This is a variable for RSSI. This is the definition for my LED on pin 13, the built-in LED. This declares the LED as a output and the digital pin as a input. And this is the most important part of the sketch. You have to use 2 different serial ports, so you have to set up 2 different serial ports. One is called serial and the other is called serial 3. Depends on which ports you're using. The first one here is for the connection for your Arduino to your PC or Mac, whatever you're using, and the serial 3 is used for the connection of your Xbee to your Arduino Mega. In the void loop, basically here this isn't that important. It gets the message of the Xbee and it reads the start byte and saves this stuff as a discard byte. Okay, now this is the most important part here of the void loop. The signal is a PWM signal, the RSSI value. So if the signal goes low, read it. Basically, that's the message, and with a frequency of 200. And this is for debugging. And this turns on the LED if your RSSI value is less than 40, and it turns the LED off here if the RSSI value is bigger than 40. Okay. I'll put down the link for the description below. Okay, now this is my setup. Here we got my Xbee in router AT mode connected to this Arduino Mega, which I use as power supply. And over here we got my Arduino Mega connected to this Xbee, which is configured in coordinator API mode. Please make sure I'm using 3.3 volts, otherwise it'll damage your Xbee. Okay, so now if I move closer with my Xbee in AT mode, it'll automatically turn on the LED, the built-in LED on this Arduino Mega. Okay, now I'm going closer and it turns on, and I move away, it turns it off. I move closer, it turns it on. If I move away, it turns it off. Again, I move closer, it turns the LED on. I move away, it turns it off. I move closer, it turns it on. And I move away, it turns it off. On your distance, the distance between those two Xbees. Now at least we're going to have a look at the RSSI value. I've set it to debugging in my sketch. Okay, now at this distance I'm getting a value about let's see, 54. And if I move closer to 10 centimeters right now, it's about 30. Okay. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Leave your questions and comments below, and please hit that like button. See you, thanks.